Hello everyone and welcome back to The Farmer Was Replaced. And today we are going to check out watering specifically. And so in the previous episode we basically sorted out the trees, the tree planting basically. So because trees can't be planted right next to each other, so either north, south, east or west of it, or east and west of it. They can be diagonal, so hence why we have got them like this. And essentially so this code works, but there is actually a better way to do this, because while editing the previous episode I was looking at this and I was thinking to myself, why? So we do an is-even check here and an is-even check here on position X and position Y. Now, that's not necessarily required, to be honest, because we can even just have just one, or say, let's copy this. Let's do that, and we'll just take these out. We'll have only one and we'll say is even, and we do get position Y plus get position X. And if this is then true, so let's copy this again. This is mainly for me to just make sure that this works. So we can then say if is even, just like that, then plant a tree. Otherwise, just else plant a carrot. So let's have a look. Okay, so this actually does work. It's just basically now everything has been tilled for some reason, and I'm not too sure why everything has been tilled. Let me just double check. Yeah, why was everything tilled though? That makes no sense. But it doesn't really matter. Trees can grow on any ground. But what bothers me is, why did it decide to till the ground under the trees? Because under the plant tree class, we don't have tilling. We only have tilling here. So let's just stop this. Let's move to 0, 0. Harvest all and reset. Okay. We'll move to 0, 0. There we go. And then so is even, can harvest, and then if it is even, then plant a tree. Otherwise, plant a carrot. So there we go. But I'm not sure what went wrong there, actually. Let's see. Yeah, it works perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, not sure what happened there, but I'll take it. Let's move back to 0, 0. And I was actually thinking, because we use this move 0, 0 back to 0, 0 all the time, what we can do, just to make it a little bit more better, is this move to 0, 0. What we can do is we can create a function. So move to start, and we take all of this and we move basically to start. And essentially we might be, because the start is at the bottom, this move to north is dumb. This should be moved south, and this is always on the east, so we need to move west, because we're always going to be moving. If we're there, the quickest way there is technically to just go this way and go up. So go up, get here, get there, all from here to the east and then there. But just for like a little bit more smoother movement, we basically either move south or west. And because we are in the bottom leftmost corner. So now that it is a function, we can either technically call the function here, move to start, like so, and then it will just move it. So if we decide to just do this, okay, and we stop there, okay, we move to this. Because it's a function, if I don't do this, nothing will happen. But if I do that, see, boom, 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 it went back to here. So now that we have that there, what we can do is just say, before this even starts, we just say move to start. And then that means it will always just move to start. So if we do this, so if we stop here, for example, we don't have to do this anymore. We can just click this, it will move back to start and then continue on its merry way. So that is actually quite a easy solution to it. Okay, so watering. Plants grow faster when they are watered. The ground has a water level ranging from 0 to 1. The function getWater returns the water level of the ground it's over. The growth speed of a plant growing on tilled soil grows linearly from 1x speed at the water level 0 to 5x speed at the water level 1. So we can actually potentially have all the plants grow at 5 times speed. That is immensely crazy. Watering only affects plants growing on tilled soil. It doesn't have any effect on plants growing on turf. Okay, so the trees do grow on, can also grow on tilled soil. So we actually are going to change everything to tilled. Okay, so let's do that first then quickly. What that then means is very similar to what we're doing here for the ground type. If it's not soil, then till it and then plant a new tree. So very simple, straightforward. There we go. Now everything is going to be tilled and happy. Okay, cool. So what's next? Soil dries up over time. The water loses 1% of its current water every now and then. Keeping the water level high will consume much more water than keeping it low. You can use water tanks to empty your to water your plants. You can purchase empty tanks with wood using trade items.emptytank. A tank can hold 0.25 water. Tanks fill up automatically. The fill rate is 0.5% of the number of empty tanks per second. So if you have 100 empty tanks, one of them will fill every 2 seconds. Call use items.watertank over any ground to empty a tank and water the ground. Okay, so firstly, let's create a new file here for trade empty tank. Okay, create a function trade empty tank, and we can even say, okay, cool, amount or quantity, and then we can say, okay, cool, for I in range of quantity, basically trade items.emptytank. Okay, the trade cost here is 5 wood per empty tank. So what we can then do is say if number of items, just want to make sure we break out of this loop if we don't have enough wood. So items dot wood is less than 5, then break. Otherwise, trade. So this is just a contingency to say, cool, if we pass in, let's say 10 tanks and we can only afford 8, that it won't. I wonder if this actually I just want to read this note here. What happens if we try to trade and we don't have, if the item cannot be bought or you don't have the required resources, it simply does nothing. Okay, so that's not even needed then. Okay, cool. So we want as many empty tanks as possible, and for every tree we build we can actually technically buy an empty tank. But let's say we want a number of tanks, so let's do a constant max tanks is equal to, let's say 200. We want 200 tanks. Okay. After we've planted and harvested and all of that, let's do, no, why did I do that? Okay. If num items of items dot empty tank is less than 200, no, other one, less than, then basically trade empty tank, and we'll just do maybe, let's say 2 at a time for now. Okay, so now if we run this, we will, it's a bit slower, but we'll be getting empty tanks as we go along. And but this is also doing, hold on. If number of items of empty tank plus number of items dot water tank is less than, because now these change all the time, otherwise we'll never get to 200. So we want a combination of 200 of the empty and filled water tanks. Okay, so let's try that. And can we do a speed upgrade? 350, yes we can. 500, 800, there we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. That means we can execute code a little bit faster. Yeah, so I just did a drone upgrade quickly for speed. Okay, so now we're at least trading for empty tanks up until no, why did I do 200 there? I should do the constant. There we go. Okay, so let's see if it stops. And yeah, now it doesn't even do that anymore because we now have a total of 200 tanks. Perfect. We are getting tanks quite slowly, so let's do a little bit more. Let's do 500 tanks. Okay, so I'll buy 500 tanks, and basically when we do have 500, then I'll get back to you guys, because I don't want to have you sit here. This is kind of where the idle part comes in, and yeah, we need to kind of wait for resources. Okay, and we have 500 tanks. Perfect. So now our water is going up reasonably, so which is very, very good. Okay, now the next part is to actually start watering all the plants, and hopefully, I don't know if it is going to work like that, but when we use a water tank, hopefully we keep the empty tank, so basically it can go back there. And yeah, so, and then basically hopefully we keep 500 tanks. So let's see if it works like that and take it from there. Now, what we want to do is first say if get ground type is equal to grounds dot soil, because we specifically want to only execute this code to specifically see this only water ground if the ground is tilled soil. Okay, so that's the first thing. We don't want to waste water, and because now everything is basically tilled soil at the moment, we're going to water each and every one of them. And if the get water is, let's say, less than 0.5, let's do it half at first and see how that goes. If it is less than 0.5, then use items dot water tank. Okay, let's see how that works. So it's going to progressively also water up until 0.5, and we can already see it's growing actually quite faster, and we can see the ground also going a bit darker, and we still have water. Perfect. It actually works out quite great. And now things are flowing because our drone is actually too slow for this now. So I think actually 0.5 is actually a bit too much, because by the time we're here, this is already technical. Well, it's almost actually finished growing already. And I think what we can also do is we can upgrade our carrots. Yes, so our carrot yields, to then basically get more carrots each time we harvest them. And do we have that for trees as well? Yes, we do. Okay, we definitely need to do some grass upgrades as well. But there we go. So at least we're getting some additional carrots and additional wood. So how much does this say now? Increases the yield of bushes and trees 400 to 500%. So actually we're getting quite a lot more wood now, which is good. Just want to see if we can see anything. Tree, does it show us? No, it does not show us how many wood we get, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, cool. And I think that's pretty efficient at the moment. We might just move this into its own little function as well. So let's do that. And see, now that's gonna be a problem. If can harvest else, because if it can't harvest, if get entity type is equal to none, then do this. So what we can do is do a plant general plant class and div plant, so or do plant, and this will handle all of this. So there we go. And because this is even, it's actually called as here, in theory we can just do plant here and do plant there. So hopefully this works. Let's see. Yes, it does. And now we have, because of the elif, if something is not planted, it would just go and plant, which is good. Okay, so that's awesome. Now we just need an additional function for this. And basically we'll have to, no, there we go. And basic definition, water, do water, there we go. Do water, and we now stop this, and we do this, so do water, just like so. And there we go. So now we are reducing our main class, because that's essentially what we want, is just to make sure that our main class is straightforward and standard. What we can even also do is move all of this into our trade empty tank. Just say, okay, cool. So trade empty tank, and just do this. Take all of that, and if that, then if it is less than max tanks, then basically do that and trade it. So in theory that would work. So let's do this as a 1,000. Yeah, so now we're trading for additional empty tanks as well. Perfect. And we're getting extra carrots. And yeah, so I think that is going to be it for today's episode. So we covered watering. In the next episode, we'll probably look at pumpkins. Actually, I want to do multi-trade in any case, because now, instead of doing the for loop, we can actually close this water one. We can close the trees, and we can close the functions. There we go. Okay. So what we can now do is multi-trade. And essentially all that is that basically we can trade, instead of just for one, we can pass in a number and say, okay, cool, we want that number of items, for example 5 or whatever. If you can't afford that many, this will simply do nothing instead of buying less. So if we can't buy 10 of things, 10 of the thing that we're passing through, then we don't care about it. It will just really not do anything. So that means we can update some code as well. So the trade empty tank, instead of doing the for loop here, let's stop this. Instead of doing the for loop here, we can just pass through the quantity. And now it will always just trade very quickly. Instead of doing a for loop and executing code multiple times, it will just execute this once for the number of items, and it will just give us the number of items, which is very, very good. There's another one for the carrot class, and this is trading for carrot seeds. Now, the reason why I would like to update this as well is we always have is this, hold on, why is it not planting carrots? Hold on, why is this not planting carrots? Because that soil is, the entity type is technically none. Then do plant. This is do water, so water class, trade empty class, plant carrot, do plant. Where is general plant class? Here. If it is even, then plant tree, else plant carrot. Plant carrot, because we don't have carrot seeds. Oh, because we don't have hay. That's why. Okay, so in the next episode we'll basically look into contingency plans. So we probably won't be looking at pumpkins or sunflowers or anything like that yet, but rather to say, if we don't have enough of an item, then we should rather plant that item. And maybe we should just do it right now, actually. Let's do that. So we want, let's always have a minimum a required equals, let's say, 2000. Okay. What we're going to do now is in the do plant method, which is the general plant class, we're going to say if the number of items dot hey is less than the min hey. Let's just copy this. There we go. Min hey required. Then plant. Let's do this. Dev plant grass. Just like so. And all that we're going to do, because plant carrot class, we don't need anything to specifically plant grass. So all that we're going to do is literally just say plant grass. Okay. And this is our plant grass class. Yeah. And then we'll put them together just now. Plant grass. Plant grass. There we go. Otherwise, else, plant carrots. So this is kind of a contingency plan because we're already doing wood. We are getting a lot of wood, and to trade for carrot seeds, we need wood and hay. And we're not using wood all the time, so that's fine. It's just at this point we need grass in order to buy carrots. So we'll say, okay, cool, well, we need a minimum of 2000 hay. So when it reaches to below the 2000 hay, then just switch over from carrots to grass. And then once we have 2000 grass again, it will start planting carrots again. So let's see if this works, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Because I think this is not going to work 100%, because we're going to get to 2000 and yeah, that's not going to be great. Because we're going to get to 2000, we're going to trade for carrot seeds. We're going to go just below 2000, and then we're going to basically fall behind again. There is another way that we can do this just to make sure that we don't come in here, but let's check it out. Here we go. Okay, we're planting grass, but we're also watering the grass, which I don't want to. That's the other thing. So because grass grows very, very quickly as it is. So if the ground type is soil, if get entity type is equal to entities dot grass, then return. Just don't do anything. Okay. There we go. So now we're not watering the grass, because grass grows quite quickly anyways, so we don't really care about that. And okay, we are getting hay quite minimally, so we might even upgrade that as well. So grass upgrade. We don't. Okay, so we'll have to wait for that. But that's fine. But essentially, I think in the next episode we'll carry on with this contingency plan. So basically, we only plant carrots when we can, and when we need to plant grass when we do need hay. So we'll take it from there. And yeah, in the next episode we'll definitely look at that a little bit further, get a little bit more complicated, and maybe we'll get to pumpkins as well. I definitely want to. So yeah, but guys, On that note, if you like this episode, please feel free to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe as well. And yeah, have a fantastic day, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Cheers.